Hey, what's good, guys? So, you want to move to Liberia, you've set up your life, you've done your research, you've sent your goods, you've started building your property, and now it's time to move to Liberia. Now you're wondering, now, what am I going to do for work? Do I look for regular jobs, government jobs, private sector, business? What would you rather do for work to sustain yourself and the family in Liberia? Let's talk about it. Oftentimes, people move to Africa without really setting up their life, right? Without really planning properly when it comes to jobs. Now, everybody who are moving to Liberia are looking to do business. Like I mentioned on the last video, most people are looking to have their stores, the apartment buildings, and then build something on top, like the apartments on top and stores on the bottom. Now let's look at different avenues. Now, not everybody wants to be into business, right? Not everybody wants to sell produce or services. Some people want to actually work. Now, what type of jobs can you do in Liberia when you move there? Of course, you can go to Liberia with your savings and sustain yourself for a while. However, though, you will need a source of income in Liberia to sustain yourself. So that's the first thing that you need to do. Now, let's talk about it in a minute here. Now, there are three sectors of work you can do. I've explored these avenues in the past before, as far as IT work, right? A lot of the IT companies around the world have you work from anywhere. You can get your IT certification in the UK, in the US, move back to Liberia, check with a company. Most companies are doing so. They're accommodating people living in different parts of the world and working. And so they can do that. They can have you stay in Liberia, maybe change your IP, set it up in a way where you can work from home, or work from home through IT help desk, problem solving. When you submit your IT problems with your work computer and things like that, these people are living in any part of the world. So you can get certification in that and work and move to Liberia. Make sure you're probably in the job for about 6 months or so, and then make sure it's stable, you're able to do the work, you add some value to the company, and then do that transfer. The second thing too is also you can do in Liberia is, a lot of people are not doing these, is management, property management. We all know a lot of people are building in Liberia. People are building their homes, their businesses. People are building their companies and things like that. And maybe they may have a builder, they may have a team working on it, but would need somebody, a third party, to verify what's going on, to verify their work, to manage and double check to make sure they're not being ripped off. That's another company too that you can have, is a project management company. You have a project manager who oversee your businesses, who oversee the building of your homes and things like that. That's another thing you can do in Liberia, like consultancy work. So consultancy work, IT work, working for a company in a different country or where you're from, and also anything in the healthcare field. We all know, as diasporans, when we go to Africa, the number one thing we're worried about is healthcare, right? That's something you can explore. That's something you can be also a consultant in that, to make sure people who are transferring to Liberia and transitioning, you can aid them in finding a provider. You can aid them in making sure they know where better healthcare facilities are, or also if you have the funding to also establish like maybe a pharmacy or something that caters to those specific medication and things from, let's say for example, from the US, right? So that's one thing there as well. So those are three areas: healthcare, property management, because everybody's building, and also IT work from home. Those are three things you can really do in Liberia when you move to Liberia or anywhere in Africa to maintain that source of income, because you're not going to live on just your saved money or maybe the business, because business can go up and down, especially you're buying goods and services. There it is, guys.